Okay guys, now we're moving on to Deku's like arm gauntlets, I guess people are calling them, or armor. I think gauntlets has a bit more of a ring to it. Right, so for this, again I'm going by, so ideally I would like it as one piece, but realistically if you're going to have your arm moving, you can't do that. So basically I'm going to have a top piece here and a piece here, following someone else's example. Yeah, and the best way to do that is I made some patterns by wrapping myself up in cling film and then using duct tape. Now, thinking about it, I probably could have just did one and used for both, but I guess they don't have to be identical, so I thought just to be safe, because, I mean, you'd think your arms would be the same, but I don't know, so I made two. Anyway, so I've got the forearm bit here, so this is where the wrist goes, and up by the elbow, the curving there. Got that for both arms. I mean, looking at them, they're kind of similar. I mean, yeah. So I could probably still just use one, but I thought I'd do two just to be safe. And then I also have the two top pieces. So like for up on the upper arm there. Now I wanted these, I think the idea, hopefully, I might have a bit of Velcro that will go underneath the sleeve so it attaches so it doesn't like slip. So following AnatomicCosplay's tutorial, basically for the bottom part there is going to be, and I think I'm going to do this as well, there's going to be a bit of Velcro so that it can close the piece and stop it from slipping off. This piece, I'm not so sure. I think the same principle would apply, where, so you basically, when you're closing the seam, you don't close the whole thing, and then you leave some space, so then we have a bit of Velcro, and then that closes that together. And in theory, because this is to size, it shouldn't slip, but I'm not so sure, so we'll just see how that goes, and if worst comes to worst, I think my solution would be to actually buy like an under arm sleeve, basically like for a gym or something, so that it has something to sort of stick to and stay in place, and you know, it might help cover the space in between the elbow. But the idea is this armor is all broken, you know, Deku's been doing stuff, running around and non-stop, so yeah, basically the messier the better. Yeah, so I think the idea first is I'm gonna cut these pieces out on 5mm foam and go from there, really. Okay guys, I might as well show you here. So I've got all the pieces done now, and the articulation is pretty good. Like I can do like that. I mean, it's not like full on, but it's still pretty, excuse you, still pretty good movement, like over the head, and so it might just be just a little bit. And I tend to be a little bit rigid when I've got cosplay on. I don't know why. These bits are actually okay. I suppose if I move quite a lot, they do tend to come down a little bit. But like I said, I'm hoping maybe I'll put a bit of Velcro up here under the sleeve. It'll keep it in place. But yeah, articulation's good, and obviously I've got the seam there, which I'll use a bit of Velcro to close up. But obviously you won't really see that, so that'll be good. Yeah, so I had to do a fair bit of adjusting. But I am glad actually now that I made 2 patterns, because you know, they both weren't exactly ideal, but yeah, so far so good. And I think the sleeve is meant to come down to about here, so yeah, like there'll be a bit of Velcro in there just to keep these up, but they're pretty tight anyway. So, but also if I like move my shoulders a lot and do that, like this one in particular I think is a bit looser, so maybe I should bring it in just a little bit. But I don't want to mess up like it not closing. So, it would only be a slight bit, so I think I can get away with that, and it'll be alright. You know, to be fair, walking around, just trying it out here. Yeah, that one might slip a little bit, so maybe I'll just adjust that slightly. But the rest I can. It takes a little wiggle, but I can get it in and out fairly easily with the seam open. You just got to twist it a little bit. Yeah, so far so good. Twist that one a little bit. See, that one's been pretty tight, and this one comes off quite easily, so I may adjust that slightly. Let me show you, I've cut out the strips for the armor pieces. And I got to tell you, so I was cutting and my knife was just not doing well, so I actually managed to sharpen it and change the blade, and oh my god, what a difference it made. It's like, just like literally like a hot knife through butter, like to just use the phrase. But honestly, yeah, so I've got some really nice beveled edges here to help. Now, so basically I worked out the circumference of each piece, and I actually went a bit longer than that because some pieces will be sticking out, and also just to make sure I had the right bit. And then I worked out how sort of long, like at its longest point, what the piece was, and then did a little bit of maths, surprisingly. So basically for this one, it worked out about 16 centimeters, I think, at the longest point. So basically I worked out, I think I divided that by 4 originally, just I thought that's what, or mainly for this one, it's got 4 pieces. So I went 4.5, so it was slightly over, so they overlap, and basically worked out 4 for each of these pieces and 5 for these, and I've just rolled them all around and they look pretty good. So yeah, next bit will be probably, because it's quite late, but I'm gonna try and get these stuck on, and then I'll probably shape and determine where I'm gonna like have pieces missing and bits sticking up, that sort of thing. So yeah. Sorry again, I skipped ahead, but might as well show you. We have the finished pieces. You see, and all I used is my Dremel, and I was hoping to use my soldering tool for the first time, but yeah, but no, I think they've turned out pretty good. And then using my knife for the scratches, and then when you use a heat gun, it like expands the scratches, so it looks pretty good. But those are the forearm pieces. And then we also have the upper pieces. test them out tomorrow and see how they look and see if I need to adjust anything, but I think, yeah, they look pretty good. It was really hard to not be like too exact. Just try and be a little bit messy and just go with it really, just because it's meant to be all like chipped up and wrecked basically, so yeah, not bad. So welcome to my garage. This is where I hang stuff up, but so finally spray painted these. Now again, can't remember if I mentioned, I was thinking of using just acrylic paint for these that I had already, but I just wasn't coming out. I did like a test piece, and obviously I could only apply it with either a paintbrush or a sponge, and both just came off with a texture that I just didn't like. So you got a little something on you there. Yeah, it just didn't come off well. So then I remembered I used a spray for when I did my Kirishima, and his is obviously, because the other thing as well, it came out very bright, and the idea was I was going to go over it with a dark wash anyway, but I thought I'll try and find something else. So then I checked on my Kirishima cosplay that I did, and I actually really liked that red just in itself, and I didn't really do anything to that. I just literally spray painted it, and it was this stuff, Universal All Surface Paint in a crimson red. And honestly, this is just one coat, and it's coming up brighter on the camera, but it's actually spot on perfect what I want actually. And the thing is as well, again, because this is like a battered look, it doesn't matter if it's not necessarily an even coat, if there's some slightly lighter and darker areas, because that is what I'm going for. Obviously I will go over it with a dark wash just to darken up again some of the markings and stuff, but that is the idea. So yeah, I'm happy. That's one coat, and I think I'm just gonna leave it like that. I couldn't be happier, and they look so good. I generally, I think this is my favorite part of actually the whole costume so far, which is weird to say, but yeah. So they're coming nicely. So now just gonna leave them to dry, and we'll carry on with everything else. Hi guys, these are all dry, and honestly I needed one coat of these, and these are all like the perfect colour that I could want. So I'm going to leave it at that. I do need to give them like a little black wash just to bring out these bits a bit more, make them a bit darker in certain areas, and then varnish. But before I do any of that, for these bits in particular, I'm going to make the little Velcro bit that I'm going to have to close, because I think I'm going to have to do that before I yeah, seal everything up, just to make sure it's like in the position it should be. Yeah, and all I'm going to do that is I've got my Velcro, and then what I'm going to do, I'm going to make, so there'll be a part that goes on inside here, and then I'm going to make a little flap, so to bring that other bit out here, and then that will go in and clip on like that, and I'll show you that once I get. Hey guys, sorry once again, I can't remember where I was when I did this, but we are literally days out from con now, and I'm not rushing because I'm on schedule. Things will be finished, so it is the Monday and con is on Friday. I will be finished by tomorrow, Tuesday, for sure. So that's good. Yeah, but I'll show you some pieces all varnished. I think I showed the dark wash I did. I also added, so in the forearm bits, I added the Velcro bits to take them off and on. It's stiff. Basically, yeah, so that opens up and I can get my arm in. So I always have to check which one's which, so this is the right two. So what you have to do is take the bit inside and bring it to the outside so it doesn't get caught while you're doing it. And then these are a little bit tight, not gonna lie, but they go on very well. So yeah, and then simply just put that in and then push push it in, and I could do this one-handed as well. Put it over, bada bing, bada boom, and it's really good. I mean, it's not flush, like you can see, but it does the job, so I'm happy with that. I'll show you the other one as well. I had them going like sort of opposite ways. I don't really think it matters, but as long as they open and close, you are good. Yeah, I had a little hiccup with the varnish though, because I was using one that was nearly out, and it started sort of almost, you know, if anything, it looked like spider web. It was shooting out web bits, and I was like, tried to get off as much as possible. There are a couple of little bits on there which to me are just annoying, but obviously you can't see otherwise, so there's that. But it's okay, so just put that on. I can't get over how like nicely these fit as well, like, because I was really worried at one point that it was all gonna go. Because I've had a lot of experience in the past where, for whatever reason, I've made a pattern to be exact, and it's just been like way too small, so I don't really know what I've been doing wrong. Yeah, but yeah, so they're all done now. And again, the movement is really good. I mean, you can hear the thing kind of breaking there, but that's fine. Yeah, and all the bits look great. The design looks great. It's a really nice colour. I'm really happy with how these turned out, so yay. And obviously again for the top bits as well, all varnished. So they still got like that shine of metal, although they are like busted up. Yeah, because that's what I keep telling myself with this the whole way through. Like things, they obviously they have to look nice, but also the whole outfit is meant to look destroyed, so it also doesn't matter if things mess up a little bit. So yeah, but again, it's very easy just to pull these off. You know what I might have to do actually, so there's a little bit of, I don't think you can see, but there's a little bit of like bending in there, but you can easily fix that with a heat gun, which I might just take with me just to be safe, because you never know. They just go on like that, very nicely. And I did varnish these with those on, so it wouldn't crease as bad. God, it's a bit too strong, but again, it works, so that's what I'm happy with. So yeah guys, literally at this stage, I might as well say, the last thing I have to do is the costume dark wash, and then everything will be done, so yay. At this point I seriously cannot wait for con. Like, it's been a stressful time to say the least, but like I said, we've managed to like get there in the end, with a day or so to spare, and everything looks great and went really well, and I can't wait to like show it off. I'm hoping to get some really good shots, both through myself and through some like photographers, so yeah, we'll be hoping for that. But yeah, I'm really excited, and also I just can't wait to like see my friends and everything, because that's what it's all about.
What does the fuck say?